welcome to Amaro's Intuitive Studio on YouTube. This is going to be your monthly Astro-Tarotscope for the shift into Aries season, or I like to call it the Aries portal. That means the sun is moving from Pisces, which we have been talking about a whole lot, which has been like very deeply emotional energy for a lot of us. Even some of us have been a little bit more prone to depression, just very intense time. And we've encouraged a lot of going into this, taking anxiety out of the mind, the last full moon, as well as a water meditation to kind of wash some of that anxiety away and dissolve it into wisdom. So we're moving out of this energy and then we're moving into something that's a little bit more fiery, because the earth is warming and literally the sun is moving into a place where it's going to warm the earth. So don't forget also to check out the spring equinox energy. That's going to be your energy for the next 3 months up until summer, and see what's emerging for us then. So it's just a little bit more dynamic energy. Not a little bit, a lot actually. More dynamic, but like in an action-oriented way. So Pisces can be it can be dynamic, yes, but it's kind of like inward, psychic, spiritual, tapping in, where we're talking about forward movement out into the world. This actually brings us into the sign of Aries is ruled by the planet Mars, which is the planet that is about our exertion out into the world, okay? Our drive, look at that fighting spirit. And where do we direct that, okay? So it's very, very important to notice where we're directing this energy and if it is a worthwhile battle. Are we focusing it towards something that is gonna create a dynamic experience in our lives that's gonna kind of awaken us and bring us fresh new experiences, or is it creating more destruction than anything else? It's just noticing. Just be aware for yourself what your patterns seem to be, because they are going to be a little bit more impulsive, passionate, energetic around this time of year. It's kind of like that warrior spirit, bold, risk-taking, very fiery, swift. And this is a time kind of, if you've been preparing yourself, you'll be ready to take that like swift, fiery movement towards your personal growth and satisfaction. But if you haven't quite been tapping into that yet, spring kind of the ram is the representation of Aries. And when you think of a ram, you think of butting heads, right? So spring rears its head, which also my friend who helped me to put this entire thing together informed me the head is the body part that's associated with Aries. If we are not quite ready for this and it kind of takes us by surprise, what happens is it kind of stirs the pot. We have aggression or anger, or even just triggers that are misdirected. We could become self-centered, explosive, pushy, and insensitive if we are not paying attention to how we are bringing ourselves out into the world. Okay, so it's just be aware of how this is affecting you. Do you need to work out some unresolved, deeper stuff so you're not misdirecting this energy and fighting battles that maybe aren't the best use of your time and energy again? Now, if you do find that things are coming up that you don't really care for, I would encourage you to assess your soil that you're planting things in. Make sure that is a fertile, nourishing place. Again, maybe visit back into those meditations, or just find whatever soothes you overall. What is going to bring you some fresh new energy, because Aries season wants to wake you up, and it's defrosting this winter stagnancy and motivating us to get moving, pushing us. We're going to be pushed beyond, I want to say beyond our limits, beyond our comfort zone, but maybe right up to the edge. And it's probably going to be a season where we have to know our boundaries and our limits very well, or we're going to not really care for the directions we're going to be pushed. We need to recognize like what is for our best, like what is for our growth, and what is just uncomfortable. They might both be uncomfortable, but what really is the outcome of each individual subtle experience of discomfort? Do you like it? Do you not like it? It's all up to you and your own judgment. So my beautiful friend who I met in a whole different lifetime, and I say that lightheartedly, but I was a totally different person when we met, and she and I have crossed paths again. She gave me this beautiful quote that I want to read to you before I start this. It says, "A free bird leaps on the back of the wind and floats downstream till the current ends, and dips his wing in the orange sun rays and dares to claim the sky." And that's my Angelou. Let's get started. Please share this with your friends so that they can also prepare themselves for this Aries portal. All right, so what came up for us was Neptune, Aries coming out double here, and the 9th house. Neptune was actually one of the rulers of Pisces, and so it's about fantasies, yearnings, longings, and potential for illusions. So it's kind of like where do we kind of fool ourselves and maybe paint things a little bit prettier than they are in real life. Okay, Aries, talking about, again, this dynamic energy, spontaneous, it's impulsive, and at times can be crusading. It's important to, right, make sure that we're putting this energy towards things that are worthwhile for us and our own personal satisfaction, especially long term. And then the 9th house, broadening your horizons spiritually, academically, or on a long journey. Okay, a long journey could be inward, right? The long journey, obviously they're saying study. It's all about kind of what do you value, wherever that goes. Okay, so here's our message that we're receiving here. The idealization of energies to meet the challenge of spiritual values. Confusion regarding your desires, regarding long-range thinking or travel. Sacrifice resulting from the honesty and strength of what is to be shared. Okay? Now, if any of that lands with you, if it does not, we're just going to continue to deepen this. Okay? So, what we're going to do, now my beautiful friend, I told you, she helped me design this, so she chose these decks. This is the Sacred Rebels Oracle, and this is one I had my eye on for her anyway, because that's exactly who she is to me. Kin spirits in that way. So here in our first area is where we lost our power. Last month we talked about magic. However it feels right to you, what is that inside of you? So it says, after the storm. Okay, no idea what that means yet. Now let's get the other two cards out, and then we'll deepen this a little bit and see a little bit more about what after the storm means. All right, the next card that wants to come out is, this is our current path, restore and replenish. Okay, the earth is waking. Make sure that you have the energy you need to wake along with it. And then our potential. Okay, and that doesn't that match up so much with the long range thinking, broadening our horizons. releasing allegiances. Okay? That's going to have a lot to do, I already know, it has a lot to do with being true to you. And you might have like ties or bonds with others where you made agreements early on in these relationships that no longer honor who you have become. Okay, so that's long range. That's you evolving into a whole different person. It's possible. It's in you. You have to choose to want to be that person, because if you're worried about leaving others behind, then that's what you're going to bring forward. You're going to bring forward the old things, the old battles, okay? A thunderstorm is just nature's way of gathering energy together that needs to be released. With a release of tension, relief and freedom soon follow, often with fresh perspective and perhaps a gift of a promising, hopeful vision for your future. Perhaps the particular storm building within or around you is causing you to quake in your boots. It may be a storm of building emotions, threatening to erupt or already exploding. Seemingly beyond your conscious control, you might feel an uncomfortable sense of emotional or psychological pressure within, and if something doesn't happen, and soon, you fear you just may burst. And if there is not a word that is more true to this season that we are moving into, it is the word burst. Between the fire of Aries, okay, the sun warming the earth, this dynamic movement of energy, and then the awakening earth, the flowers bursting up from the ground, okay? Another quote I was given for this was, most people don't know that there are angels whose only job is to make sure you don't get too comfortable and fall asleep and miss your life. There is in life and in the creative process a need to allow for wild storms. There will be those precious moments of peace beforehand, and the release and revitalization after that follows, yet the storm in the middle is essential. It is a natural part of the creative process. Without this building and releasing of energy, we would suffer from boredom and stagnancy. You may prefer the excitement of the storm or the fresh, open feeling that accompanies its clearing. You may find it confronting to be faced with the power of something in only which you can participate rather than control. Either way, the storm offers wisdom and a gift of bringing things to a head and clearing them. A head. That already came up once, didn't it? Right? In that lower manifestation of this energy, we talked about how it can be very explosive, self-centered, and the ram, right? He rears his head. Clearing them away so the energy can be freed from a pattern and had its day. It is ready to become something new. Welcome to Aries season. Now I'm gonna kind of jump over this one because I think that's super self-explanatory. You just need to do what replenishes you. You need to be aware, okay? So you can have the energy to move forward, fight the battles worth fighting, but really direct your fiery energy. You know, think of a lightning bolt. That's what you want. You want to be able to direct it and feel confident in what you're directing. You don't want to be fighting battles all over the place that make you feel scattered. And I think that brings us here, okay, to our long-term potential, our values, what is to be shared. It is time to hold on to yourself and let go of others, even if just for a time. You have gained all that was meant to be in some connections, at least for now. You have given and you have received. The need to let go does not deny the value of what has been acquired. It is more that the time has come for greater productivity, creativity, abundance, and consciousness in your life. You have completed many cycles in the vibrational frequency of consciousness that you are now being asked to release. You have been in that frequency for some time, and you have earned the right to step out of it, out of the habits, relationships, and the possibilities that are limited to an outmoded version of yourself. It is now time to expand into higher frequencies of experience that bring enhanced love, empowerment, and peace into your life. You will take the wisdom that you have learned with you into something new, higher connections, new relationships, new life experiences at a higher turn, the spiral of lifelong journey. You want the companions by your side that honor you, that want to walk alongside of you, or at least meet up with you, you know, when those times are right. All right, so let's continue to deepen this. Again, we're going to continue to talk about where did we lose that power. My intuition. So we weren't trusting our intuition. Okay, and here's the thing. It's very, very likely that you may have been treated as like kind of dreamy or idealistic, like others didn't really see your vision, the way that your perspective of the world as realistic, and really probably, I want to say beat that down, but maybe not purposefully, but usually it's just because people want us to not suffer so much, not expect so much, because they have kind of been knocked down. All right, the next one out. This is our current path, the star. I am inspired and positive about the future. Revisit the March 14th to 20th Astro-Tarotscope. The star just came out for us as well. Really, really deep time. I mean, if you are happy with your healing journey, and I don't mean that you have to be there. What I mean is you are taking a step, and you feel satisfied with yourself. I'm doing my fucking best, okay? You will be rewarded. You have to be satisfied with your efforts, though. You have to be satisfied with your efforts. It's about your satisfaction. If you continue to seek outside of you for that approval, you're not going to be very pleased with it overall. It's just you're gonna find it very superficial, and you want to be able to go deep into your intuition. Your intuition is deep. When your intuition is treated as fantasy, or you even believe that your intuition is fantasy, like how could that possibly be real? How could that idea no one will go for that. Who would possibly go for that idea that I had? I don't know. You know, it's up to you to try stuff. What is for you long term? And I trust my ability to make it a strategic decision. I take great care of what I value. So trusting yourself is always the root of what you're gonna bring. Okay, so whatever you plant takes root. It starts with what you like, your authenticity. How true is it to you? That's how good it's gonna feel when it comes up, when it springs up from the soil, right? When it actually blossoms, it might look good to the outside. How does it feel to you? Isn't that the most important part? How does it feel to you to have created that? So even if it seems silly to others, hold, or at least pay attention to, focus on, don't lose sight of what you actually want, because others will, I don't want to say they'll take it from you, but they will take from you the confidence, okay, the courage that you have. You know, when you have that feeling where you want to leap forward, and others are like, "Are you sure?" Now, and we can all be that for other people. We all are that sometimes, okay? And that's not necessarily fair. Sometimes we are looking out for others, okay? But we all have to live our own life and our own path. So where did we lose our power? We lost our, our freedom. We lost our freedom somewhere along the line, or at least the idea. It's the idea of what freedom is. Aligning with other people, aligning with those that we care for, can be very valuable because we crave community. We need that. But we maybe sometimes idealize it and create some sort of illusion out of it. The moon actually is also a card of illusion as well. So it depends on how you see it. If you are tapped into your own intuition, you may be now tapped into it, okay? But in the past, there were illusions around, this is tradition, which I find very interesting. Liberate yourself from the manifestations of the past, from what is often called tradition. Throw open the cupboard doors to reveal the skeletons and release the crystallized views of your ancestors that have manifested as your genes. Your genes are threads of reality formed by the power of your ancestors' thoughts and feelings. Let us say thank you to all who have come before us for their creations and all they have lived. For in doing so, they gave you options and brought you to where you are now. When you were born, you arrived at the vibration of all that the generation before you wanted. You are the manifestation of the expanded previous generation. Each generation's job is to expand even more for the sheer beauty and joy of it. This is the natural flow of life. Somehow we allowed ourselves to become living statues, reenacting the experiences of the past, becoming victim to this. Your genes are a blueprint formed by the past to give you a place to start when you arrive. Your genes do not decide anything. You do. Liberate yourself and become who you know you are. You are powerful. The theme of the new moon, not to push that one again, but the theme of the new moon and the actual cards, the tarot, and the meditation were liberate yourself. So it is something worth looking into. And especially we're talking about healing waters. This is very watery. We have a lot of water going on. So it is something worth considering. Revisiting that meditation with the healing waters. Liberate yourself. Right here, right now, you are perfect. You are love and oneness. The trick is to feel and know this. It is time to step into the path of self-discovery, move into your center, and heal all that you are aware of at this moment, transforming these wounds into acceptance and peace. Wow, there are a lot of messages of peace. Are you feeling that peace in your gut, in your heart, or not? Because if you're not, you have so much potential to access that. Then bring this love and acceptance to your outer world. No longer attached to the wounds that pushed your buttons, allowing you to be free of the pain. It is an ongoing unfolding of you. Each time you become aware of something that needs to heal, go back inside your center. It becomes easier every time, and you may get to a place where you view this process as a way to love and accept something new about yourself. So your potential is wisdom. activate your inner wisdom and allow the equal amount of positives and negatives about any experience or situation to enter your awareness. When this occurs, they cancel each other out. Healing happens and all resistance about that situation or experience melts away. If you I don't mean to be a jerk about it, but you're really being pushed to that water meditation, so please go check that out. You are left feeling soft and easy. The veil of illusion parts, and you have an aha moment that may go something like this. Now I understand why that was here in my life. That makes so much more sense. My life is always showing me how to come back into balance so I can see and feel my higher wisdom. Today, look where your dreams are instead in your life instead of where they are not. You are wise. All right, so here, our next card for where we lost our magic is the Sacred Clown. This is the Fool. We chose this deck. Look at that sun back there. We chose this deck because it's very dynamic and intense. And it just suits this season so much. The Aries portal, because that's what it is. It's dynamic and intense. Okay? Fighting spirits. And this is, the Fool is the one who's like kind of starting over. Naive. Okay, and doesn't really know where to go and susceptible to being vulnerable to manipulation. And don't we all go through that in our lives at some point? You know, whether we're children or teenagers. It's just really about, again, illusion, being fooled. That's not the whole thing. That's not the potential. The potential is, if you keep going, you will learn, you will grow wise, and you no longer will follow the paths that lead to things that are no longer, pay so much attention to things that are manipulative and maybe long term feel like more of a trap than a treasure. This has to do, again, where we lost our power before. The potential is growth and new, but sometimes that's a little bit painful, because if we have to learn by experience, we bump into some energies that aren't so nice, and some people and situations that just don't care for us so much. Where we are now, the Queen of Cups, and this actually is really perfect for pouring out what we have been actually restoring and replenishing in order to move into this energy. Just sitting with what is already here, okay? And look, again, pouring out. We're full, okay? Able to receive, full, replenished. We're feeling that the perfection of the moment and able to take the energy, that fiery spirit, focus it and move forward, rather than the chaos of fighting a whole bunch of different battles. A lot of times we don't even know why we're doing that. Okay, I have a whole bunch, and since it's the final the final message from the tarot, we'll take them all and see what happens. Okay, so this right here, Four of Swords, that's rest and replenish. 100% that's what that message means. Rest and replenish. So that's maybe what you have to do right now. Maybe you missed the portal, the Pisces window. It doesn't mean that you can't. It just means you need to have this balance in order to move forward. You can't move forward here, not with your best energy, if you are just completely exhausted, if you're pouring out from a well that you do not have full. Okay, it is very important. Again, under here, this message is rest and replenish. There, and that's exactly what that is. Okay, and then this person here, the Queen of Cups, is pouring out from this place of abundance. Okay, and then the moment comes, the right moment comes to take action forward. Okay, so trust it. Don't rush anything. And maybe that's what this has to do with, is the illusion of rushing into things, idealizing things that are not what they seem to be. And so just kind of standing back a little bit to make sure you know what you think in each situation before you jump ahead. And then here for our potential, we have the Prince of Wands and the Ace of Wands. So it's just telling you basically that this is your choice. Your way of focusing this energy is going to be your choice. You can take the energy and you can focus it like a king. Okay, wisdom. You can take your wisdom and you can focus it. Okay, trust yourself and your strategy, or we're talking about long term. Okay, so it's important to assess our relationships. So you can be this wise king here. There's your path. Trust yourself, have your aha moments, be okay with activating that wisdom and taking the hits, just when you need to heal something. Be honest with yourself so you can give your best energy and focus it long term. Or if you choose not to release the allegiances and be more true to ourselves, we follow a more impulsive energy. This could be us, or someone close, or someone that we are aligned to at this time, or anytime. It could be someone you used to be aligned to. But the potential is, if you choose not to honor yourself, you will follow more something that's not necessarily true to you, more impulsive and juvenile. So we have a prince here and we have a king here. So we're talking about wisdom versus like this foolishness and this illusion. So you can choose to continue to follow kind of like a foolish path, not really paying attention, like allowing the illusions, and you're probably gonna have people who want to take from you, who don't treat you with love and honor and respect, because you're not treating yourself that way. If you are not being true to yourself, if you are stifling yourself, and I don't mean like, oh, you're not able to take that anger out on someone. No, I mean like ask questions, be honest, assess your feelings, dig inward. If you're not able to really do that, if you're feeling stifled for some reason, you're less likely to honor yourself, to realize what these allegiances are that are causing you pain. It really is like there's a clarity, boundaries, just a trust of self here, a maturity, and like again a wisdom that comes from walking the path. The warrior, that's Aries, the warrior, okay? But also you have Aries here, the wands, the fire, the intensity, the impulsiveness. You have to choose which direction do you take this. It's always up to you, okay? Keep believing as your dreams won't expire. So never ever give up on yourself. Your creativity will only be useful when your mind is neutral and dutiful. So meditate every day. And I can't honestly tell you why that one went there before I even read them, but that's how it goes. So this goes here. Your creativity will only be useful when your mind is neutral and dutiful. You have to be following your own path. Find your own center and take action from there, okay? You find your center, you replenish, you meditate every day. okay? And then you are full of this energy. You are overflowing, okay? You're overflowing at that point, and you get to move forward. You get to move forward. You get to take this time. You don't have to apologize for taking time to create like plentiful feeling in your heart, so you don't feel begrudging to people you are giving towards. It creates the perfect recipe. You know, anyone who is a gardener, you know, every seed has its different time to germinate. Every seed is different. Every soil is different. Wait for the perfect timing and then take action from there. Energies to meet the challenge, okay? Energies to meet that challenge. And then become clear. You don't want to follow a path that is where you're still confused. Do you? Do you really? How far do you want to go down a path that you maybe are confused about? At least if you're able to kind of cut away what does not serve you very clearly. You may not know all of it, but you get to know it more and more as you trust your intuition. You kind of cut away some of those veils of illusion, and you again sacrifice those. Honesty and strength, okay? Honesty and strength. That's right there. That's that king. Honesty and strength. You are stronger than you think and more than you know. Be curious and determined. Wow. Okay. Had not read that yet. So that's why it's amazing. Now, our very last message, again, I started to pull these already. The bottom of the karma card, the red, is going to be our final advice for Aries season and the Aries portal. Our final message is inspire others with your willpower as if it or they came from all that there is. Be prepared to sacrifice for what you think or know about, philosophies and laws involved. Yielding is the only way to do it your own way and do it in a big way. So that's Aries season. Don't forget to check back for our special spring equinox spread that is coming up this week as well. Thank you so much for being here. Please let me know what blossoms for you this month.